Yo, yo, yo! Thank you for tuning in. Today I'm gonna show you how to make ESDEEKID type beats, because I think that sound could dominate 2026. ESDEEKID had the biggest hype last year, and I think a lot of people are gonna follow that specific sound, and in this video I'm gonna show you how to do it, okay?
Okay.
BPM wise, you can do a lot of different stuff. You can go for like 140 to 150, but you can also aim up to like almost 200 BPM. I'm gonna go for 190 because these are the ones that I like the most. So let's go. So you need some kind of synth sound. I haven't used expand in a while, so I'm just gonna try to use expand. I'm gonna go for some soft pad. Something like this works. It's a very synth heavy sound. These are actually all pretty good. I wanna go for more like a polysynth though.
Huh?
Motherfucker! Holy fuck, I'm getting pissed. Why is it not working? Oh yeah, that's nice. The most basic thing you need to know, you want to make very dense chords if you are going for chords. You can do some kind of melody as well. And you want to use a lot of these notes that are next to each other, you know. Yeah, you can do something like that. I don't feel like it though. Like this is the most basic thing you can do. But I want to give it more of a rhythm. So I'm going to add some more notes in here. Let's see if there's any other sound that I like more. Give it a little bit more attack. I'm gonna turn down the release. Oh yeah, I'd like it more without the delay. What could sound nice is if we pitch it up. Okay, I'm gonna keep it as it is. Now to the effects for this melody. Some go-to effects that I can recommend right now is distortion and reverb, because that makes it more aggressive and more spacey at the same time. For me it works the best to use a lot of distortion and reverb, but just use whatever and see how it makes you feel. That's the best way to go anyways. I want to use the Mark EQ4, so I don't have a visual feedback when I EQ the sound. Nice. Let's compress it a little bit. To me, like, these melodies should have a lot of presence in the high end, but should not lack too much low and mids, because then the melody just sounds thin and bad. I have a type beat channel and I have some beats on there that sound horrible because of that exact issue. I'm gonna link them in the description so you can understand what I'm talking about here, okay? But I think that goes for every single genre, you know? Like, having a lot of presence is nice most of the time, but if the melody just lacks the low end, it sounds kind of bad, yeah, or thin. And now I'm just gonna use a reverb. I really like the R4. What you can also do is what I'm gonna do right here, is I'm gonna go to Shaperbox and I'm gonna try to come up with some volume shape. I like the bounce of that. Now what you can do is you can use more synth sounds, you can use leads, you can use a pad or something. I'd like to use a pad right now. I just want to give this melody a little bit more depth. I'm gonna use a sound that sits in the mid-range, and I'm just gonna play one note, and it's gonna make it sound a little bit more professional, you know? That sounds pretty fire. I like to mix every single sound that I put in here one after another. The moment I put them down, I want to Shaperbox the sound a little bit. Maybe I'm gonna do something very, very basic. Yeah, that's fire. I think I'm gonna use expand again because I like the first layer. I'm gonna try some huge pad, I don't know. Yeah! Now I'm gonna fucking like hit Shift Q to quantize everything. And I think I'm gonna keep the note lengths as they are, so there's still some variation, you know? Because this is like the same thing over and over again, but there's some variation because the notes have different lengths, and I kind of like that, you know? Like, using Shaperbox is the way to go for these melodies, or like some creative effect. Just gonna make the same shape again. Maybe I'm gonna use the filter thing. Yep, that's fire. Yeah, and I think that's gonna be the whole melody. Adding more to this will kind of take away from the bounce, I think. I'm just gonna lay down some drums now. The most important drum sound in these beats is like the snare. It sets the entire bounce. So you wanna lay it down on the one, then one here, then one here, one here, one here. I think for this one, I'm not gonna put it down like this. Instead, I'm gonna do it like this. That's nice. Yeah. Then we of course need the OK thing. You don't really need it, but I like it. So we're doing like an ESDEEKID type beat tutorial. Okay, so let me just get the OK in here and shut the. I have a fire little idea. Let me make this a square form. Make it come from the left and go a little bit less to the right. I really like this exhale sound. I don't know what it is. It sounds so fucking fire, man. These beats are very, very simple. You know, the beat is basically done. I could just put in the 808 here, but I want to put in like a crash sound to give it more impact on the one. Let me get an 808 in there. I think I'm gonna arrange this a little bit, and then I'm gonna feel if I like the 808 or not. The important thing that I wanna show you here is the master chain. You have to fuck up the mix a little bit. You have to make the 808 a little bit too loud, so everything sounds kind of distorted and dirty in a way. And yeah, that's very important. So I just have a parametric EQ, which I only use for this out knob, so I can push the entire signal into this soft clipper. That's basically it. Yeah. Yep. Okay, this is gonna be it. I hope you learned something in this video. If you enjoyed this video, leave it a like and consider to subscribe to the channel. Videos every Friday on this channel. 2026 is gonna be our year, so stick around for the journey and I'll see you next week.